I'm not using any of the the standard presentation from my office or anything because it's not allowed. So I've made some of the copies from the internet itself. But in my conversation or in my talk, I will try to add my experience as much as possible.
Now wait a minute. So everyone, guys, there is a disturbance. Better you mute the audio. Then later during the conversation, you can unmute it.
Yeah,
Uh, you can proceed.
yeah, yeah. Software development lifecycle models. So this is the first model, water flow model. It was introduced like in 1956 or somewhere between there. So it was the first model which they wanted to follow. So if you know, like 1950, there was no much of the computer, programming or something was exist. I mean, it was very bit of small coding structure. So at that time, it was moreover like you have first is feasibility study. Feasibility study is more about like in two manners. One is you need to study the market. So if the product, whatever the requirement we need to design. For example, usually you get a request from the clients or with other customers that we need this kind of design. So they will actually need to study the market also in the meantime. So they just blindly can't design it because it may chance that it may not suit to the the market when it is on the release. So that's the reason they need to do the feasibility study and also what are the dependencies, because it should not cross the cost. For example, they are asking for something ATM machine with with the lower budget. So with respect to the security constraint which they need to carry on, like secure access to those servers and all. So if they can't make it, so it's in the feasible studies, they actually need to give it to the clients that it's not possible, something like that. So first they need to do the feasibility study. So once the feasibility study is done, they actually go with the analysis. So they need to analyze the requirements and write the specifications. So for example, now the ATM machine was the requirement. So obviously when the clients from the bank, what they give a requirement is moreover like I have a ATM, I need a ATM machine where I can insert my card, enter my password, I get the cash. That's it. So, but in the requirement analysis, what protocol, secure protocol, they want to use it with communication between the ATM and the bank servers, all those things they need to actually plan it. So they will have requirements for each and every stuff. So then comes the design. It's more about the system design, how the whole system need to work, how the flow need to be. So when it need to actually alarm the security or whatever the stuffs are positive, negative cases, everything they need to plan. So whole system design, like it's moreover like design is like a blueprint of the system. So you know in and out of the system. So once you have the blueprint, so you start coding. So which means it's like a programming of the steps. So are in the mechanical word, building up the machineries. So then its part is called unit testing. Also they do it. Usually it's part of the developer's work, unit testing. What they do is like in the coding, they consider it as a black box. So it's moreover like feeding a variety of inputs and observing the variety of outputs, what is expected. So they just need to compare, but it's not a real system behavior. So then actually they come into the integration and system testing. So integration in the sense, for example, uh, when they insert the card, so they enter the pin, so there will be communication between the different control units there. But for example, when inside the server, when it need to contact the server and it need to get the inputs, then actually the cache need to be counted. So there are a lot of signals are moved in and out. So between the different hardwares. So this communication need to be tested well. So that is in the integration level. So then comes the system testing, which is like moreover like all the hardwares, whatever they design, they put it together and they test it. So then it's more over like they go for a release, and then it's more over like a maintenance phase. Like if they find any bugs or anything, they actually plan it. So this is like initial way how the software design process was handled. So, but it was bit of at that time, the quality was really not a matter. So there were bugs, yes, but at that time the quality was not taken that seriously. That's the reason if you see the development cycle, it has a long flow. They do the requirement analysis, the design planning, coding, everything they do it. For the testing, there was no planning, nothing. So after this, so there was a new model came in, which is the V model. So it actually follows the similar structure as the water flow. So if you see on the left side, it's almost the same, but the naming convention is different. But yes, it comes the same flow, but parallelly on your right side, you have the testing strategies too. So for example, the requirement analysis, it's more about what the user actually or the clients has given your requirements. So those requirements will be the initial analysis. From those requirements, they actually generate a new set of requirements based on the system design, how the system need to work. So whole system design, how it need to work, what all the interaction need to happen, what are the positive cases, what are the negative cases, everything they will plan it in the system design. So then the third part is the architectural design. As I told you, it's more about the your blueprint of those complete system module. So in and out of the system, everything will be visible. So what protocol for the communication need to be handled, everything will be clear on that. Sorry. Then the fourth part is more about the module design. So for example, you have they will divide it into part by part, like every thing's called units. So for example, the module which actually communicates with the server is one unit, and the module which actually interact with the cash machines to count the money based on the input given, that is one unit. So like that, they will have multiple units, and there will be multiple people, or sometimes it's the same person will be working on that. It depends on the complexity. If it is more complex, they actually divide it between the multiple people. If it is simpler one, maybe one person would be doing it. So then, as usual, the coding starts. But the main difference with respect to the workflow, here it's like, if you see in between this, these are the test designs. So when there was a requirement analysis was happening, parallelly, there is acceptance testing is also planned. So the test cases will be designed and the test will be planned. So even in this time, how much is this acceptance testing would need a time, how much time it would actually consume in your development cycle, because development cycle is not just a development, it includes testing too. So next is the system design. So when the system design is done, so you know how the system behavior is on the upper layer. So you have system testing cases too. So you actually write a system testing test cases. I will explain you the differences between these cases too, what really they tested. So again, in the architecture, they actually have this plan for the integration testing, but they don't do any of the testing during this. The testing will be done once the code is available. So module design, so you will have a unit testing. So from testing part, once the coding is done, so you have the code you need to be tested. So unit testing is more or like you do the syntax. If the code syntax is proper, so there is no null terminations, or there is no unexpected errors or anything. So those things will be checked. And also some of the input ranges, for example, you give for the card like 10 digit is the code. If it is more than 10 digits, it should not be responding or anything. So for when actually nowadays you have the option to enter the card details and get the cash also in some of the ATMs. So in such cases, or different ways the access, if they want, they can actually limit it. So for example, the password need to be for four uh, numbers. If it is more than four numbers, if the user enters, how the unit testing, it will catch up the errors kind of stuff. If it is input is more or less, or and also how it need to react for the numbers like 000, which were reserved ones, which will not be used. So how the code will be reacting to it. So those things will be tested here. But here the no code is not really running in such cases, most of the cases actually. So it just moreover like compiling kind of stuff. So in the integration test, it's moreover like you have multiple units, you bring it together. Moreover, like for example, one machinery communicating with other one or other modules. So in the input and output, how the communication is happening. So those things will be tested. It's only between the two units. Moreover, integration. Sometimes it's three. It depends. So how the requirement is, based on that, they need to plan this integration testing. So in the third part is more over the system testing. So where you have the whole, all the components are, interconnected and it's working well, and you actually do all the positive and negative cases testings. So then when it comes to the acceptance testing, which is a bit different, but the testing wise, you have a whole system in hand, but it based on your requirement, because the requirement, it's moreover acceptance testing is called validation, because the how the client was expecting your machine to work as. So in the acceptance testing, they just test that one. So there will be like alpha and beta testings also in acceptance testing. Alpha means when you do it in your own factory. Beta means when you're doing it in your client factory. So when you're taking those machineries there and when you test it. So that is moreover called as beta testing. So this was like, almost like till 2010 or something, this was the V model was more often used actually. So then again, it was well recognized also. So most of the industries were using this V model. It was not like one person designed stuff. It's they say actually it's parallelly designed in America and also in Germany. So then it's moreover like both the inputs were taken and industries were actually, they manipulated based on their needs or changes they have done it. But yeah, it's not the real what the Germans designed or the American designed. So it's keep on changing industry to industries. So its main problem, it is like here when you start the requirement analysis until the coding is done and the testing is done, so there is no client involvement. So sometimes there is a chance that requirement has changed. So at that time, it's like you almost spent quite a lot of hours here, and if the requirement is changed, you need to restart all over again from the system design. So which is not an easy job. It's moreover adds too much of work hours, and also the budget will increase actually. So that's the reason they were thinking of a new module. So it's moreover like, for example, in the market, initially, if you have seen the mobile technology, the cameras they were used. When we say like 1 megapixel, 2 megapixel, in olden times, it was the best mobile. Having a camera was, it's the best feature. So after that, it's more about the pixels. Then it's like even Windows phones, it actually gone to 64 megapixel, where you can even zoom who is climbing the mountain also. And you can zoom in and have a look using your phones itself. But after that, again, the trend changed. People started actually, they are not accepting those kind of, high megapixel cameras. They wanted clear, better quality pictures when actually they're taken in, in a closer distance. So that's the reason multiple cameras were added. So now it's like Now some added, initially they started with the two cameras on the back end, now three, some are trying five, six, seven, eight, it's keep on growing. So that's the thing, like the requirements nowadays, it's keep on changing. Because the market analysis also, the people, what their expectation is changing. So that's how they come up with the new logic. This, the way it looks, it's sophisticated, but yes, it is sophisticated logic. It's moreover, it's called Agile module, Agile lifecycle. Here it's moreover like more on like how you do it in the system design, everything. It happens more in a parallel way. So this architectural design or system design or architectural module design, come coding. All these four will go in a parallel cycle. So that is what Agile does. So what they do is like, for example, you have like one requirement, like for ATM, if you say one requirement is like logging in and getting the cash. Your second requirement is more or like logging in and checking your account details. Third is like logging in and you want to actually change your ATM pin. So there will be three different requirements. So they won't actually start working on all the three requirements together. Previous cases, it's like that. It is like all the requirements, they start all together. So here what they do is like they actually split it up. Like first time they start with the first requirement only. So how it is called, like they call it as increment programming or program increment PI planning. So every PI will be like depends on company to company. It will be like a 3-month period. So every 3 months one PIs will happen. So in one PI there will be something called sprint. So one sprint will be for 1 month. So there will be 3 sprints in one PI. So like how we show it is like 3 development cycles. So it's like a 3 sprints. So which makes like one PA plannings here. So in the development one, so what they do is like the first functionality what they have mentioned, they will develop only that one. So the requirement, one person will be updating the requirement, one person will be working on the design too, one person will be working on the testing concept too, one person is working on the development concept too. So everything goes in parallel together. So they will be having a everyday sync. So every day they will have a stand-up meetings. So to check on what is blocking them, what is how the flow need to be changed, if anything. So after every one development cycle, there will be an continuous, the demo sessions to the clients. So the clients will watch the first requirement, how it is developed, how it is going. So in the first development cycle itself, if there is any changes, for example, in the initial design, they mentioned about having 2 cameras in the backend. But when they see the other, the mobile companies they're coming up with the 5, 6, so they want to change the requirements. So in the development 2, there may be a requirement change. So actually they work on those new requirement again. So in this case, so for the changing requirements, easily they actually can catch up any time. So, and also the clients will be having, watch on how the development cycles are going on. So for them also it feels bit safe. So this is how the development cycle will be done. Then there will be releases. Then they will have a feedback sessions and then release to market. Based on that, they release. Again, if the release market is, they get a no as a sign, then again they need to start a new iteration. Or if there is a new requirement, again they will start in the same cycle. So it goes in a continuous circle. So this is how the Agile module works actually. So at present in the the everyday, the market is changing, the requirements are changing from the clients. So this is what now everybody actually moving to. So every industry now moving to the Agile model. So they want to have changes, but this one also have some of the cons and pros. But thing is like it's advantage for the company, so obviously they go with that. So here main disadvantage is like it's a small requirement. So sometimes the developer will get a chance to have a look on very part of it. So he will not be able to know the whole system at all. So every time he get very small requirement, he don't know the complete system knowledge on the top level, what is happening. So what kind of requirement he gives, he just does the development and he gives sit out there in output. Yeah, that's the one disadvantage. Other than that, there are additional modules also like a spiral. It has a similar kind of stuff, but it will be in a spiral shape, like round and round and round. So there will be a lot of development, then there will be releases. But it's not accepted by any of the industry, so it's not in use actually, or maybe in very few companies they are trying to do something, but not in the major multinational companies they are using those things. So this is about 3 modules which I wanted to present.